Okay, so back again. How's it going? So since the last time, I made very minor changes off camera. Of note, we have, where did it go? There it is. Number to flag. I set that to 250 just so it looks better. And then I added some to-dos up at the top here, right? And in CMake lists, I gave it this link option right here. What this does is when I launch it through here, we still have access to the console, but if we were to go to, where is it, this one? I made a release build. You can do this in whatever platform you're working in, but we're going to open this in Explorer. Now when you launch this exe, it doesn't launch the console with it. So this gives us access to the console when debugging, but in production it will go away. And this is a CMake thing. Windows Visual Studio, I think it's a little easier than this. You just set the subsystem to Windows instead of console. So yeah, that's all we did. Let's go back to the main. So let's get right into it. I don't want to ramble on for too long. Alright, so I added these to-dos. This is what we're going to be trying to do today. We're going to add a timer. I figured out what all the other boxes in the gameplay window are. It's a timer to see how long you took to do things. Like if you clear the whole thing out, all 250 of these bombs, you can say that I did it in 30 seconds or whatever. Actually, I want to do something else too. To-do seed. I'm going to go way down. Okay, so we're going to try to do these in order. We're going to start from here and go down. So we're going to add a timer. I also want to make 8-way checking for tiles. I noticed screenshots that I was seeing online. They had things like 5 and 7. And I was like, oh, okay, so they are checking in all 8 directions. So we're going to fix our logic to do that. Adjust the colors. The color scheme is acceptable, but not very good. And also this restart button only works like right here. So I want to fix that too. Fix the reset button. It's the next one. And then I want to make a difficulty menu, and the difficulty menu will say, you know, instead of 25 by 25, it'll be 18 by 18, or you know, something like that. Make the grid size smaller, and also reduce the amount of bombs. I also want to kind of make the amount of bombs proportional to the grid span. So first things first, we're going to make a timer. So unlike things like Unity and stuff, we don't actually have a timer to work with. We have to make one ourselves. And we're going to be utilizing something called, I think it's get frame time. We'll try it inside of a function so it actually shows up. Let's see, get frame time. Yeah, so we're going to make use of get frame time. So every time we go through our main loop, we're going to add to our time. I suppose I could just make that here. We're going to say it's a float elapsed equals 0.0f. Okay, this is going to, I think I remember this from the game. This will not start until you click your first tile. Once you click, then it will start the timer. So that way you don't have to race from the reset button to the game grid. Okay, so let's get started on that. I'm also want to revisit the is game over thing. Let's put that right here. To do revisit is game over. Alright, timer. So we have our elapsed time. What we need to do is handle click this one. handle click on mouse button left. If it's in here, return -1. Else. I also have to make another variable here. So we're gonna do yeah, why not? Why not? So we're gonna do like game started. Then we're gonna say game started equals 1. That's how we're gonna do it. Pointer, dereference the pointer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So that when you click, the game started will equal 1. So then we're gonna come down here, and we need elapsed, and we need an int game started equals 0. This is basically the same thing as false in C. Any number that's 0 is false, and any number other than 0 is true. It's technically any number 1 or 0, or 1 is true, but it just so happens that any number that is not 0 is considered true. It's kind of the opposite of JavaScript, where there's falsy. There's kind of like truey or true-ish. So game started. Alrighty. So every frame, if game started, so if it's true, elapsed plus equals get frame time. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. And then we're going to come down to this. I'm just going to duplicate that, and I'm going to say time. And this is going to be, I think we're going to do .0f. I think that's how we do that. I might want to, I'm going to double check that. So this will be what? Plus 40, 140. Let's check to see how that looks. And then when I click, it goes. If I click, it goes. I did it again. How? How am I so bad? There you go. Time did not elapse. I know why. It's because of this format string. I'm going to say like 3.0f. I'm silly. Elapsed. Elapsed. There you go. Testing. I'm going to bring that back down to about 100. Alright, and then I could get rid of my trace log right there. And now timer is going up. So I have it set to that. I think if I do 000, 003, like this, it will be, yeah. I want to see what happens when it gets to 10. Alright, it figures it out. Cool. Very cool. Alright, so yeah, this looks pretty sad right now, but anyway, that is timers. We're killing it. Alright, to do, make 8-way checking for tile numbers. So that means we're going to come back to our flood fill, and we basically need to do one more of each of these where it accounts for both directions. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to say this, and x is greater than 0. I don't need 2 of these yet. So x minus 1. Okay. And we're going to do... We have to do one for this one as well, but I have to do it like x like that. And y is less than grid row call. Do plus 1. I think. I basically want to have each one of them have we want a plus 1, -1 pattern, we want a -1 + 1 pattern, we want a -1 pattern, we want a 0 -1 pattern, like that. I'm not going to get that right. There we go. And then we want a, I guess, +1 + 1, and a, oh yeah. And then we want +1 0, and then we want +1 0. And then of course we need a -1 -1. Alright, that's 8. Yeah? Okay, so now we have to do all of those. So this will be our 0 -1. This one will be our -1 -1. This one will be our -1 0. This one will be our -1 + 1. This one is our 0 + 1. This one is our +1 0. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 of them. And that means we need one here and one here. X is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0, do this. X is greater than 0, do this. X is greater than 0. Okay. And, oh, not all of them need and. I gotta be careful with that. And something. And something. So this one, I want to make sure that it's not the same as up here. Oh, that's a good point. I need to do this too. So I already got the -1 + 1. I got 0, 1. I got, what is this? Look at this. Alright, so that one's done. This is going to be really yucky, but let's get rid of that one. This one is, that's this one. This one's done. This one's done. This one's done. And this one's done. This one's done. You gotta use the tools you're given. This one's done. Yep, alright. I didn't even account for that. +1 0. Oh, I did. It's this. Yeah, so -1 0. I should have that one. That's this one. -1 0 is there. I got these two cases left. I need +1 and -1, which will be this one. We'll do +1 and -1. And then I guess this one can be +1 and +1. And x is less than grid row call -1. Well, we're gonna do +1. So that is our +1 -1 done. Well, and then I'm trying to help. This one is down here. I need to do -1, so that means y is greater than 0. Okay. That looks like it worked. Or I hope that worked. So that's all 8 of our cases. We have this, and then of course the square that we're on. So that's all 9 cases around us. So 1, 2, 3, 1 space 1, 1, 2, 3. That should cover all of those, and then this one is the target that we're on right now. So hopefully no stack overflow. Okay. Alright. I don't see any like 5s or 6 stuff. Oh, I know why. Because I need to now edit this, unfortunately. So, do I have neighbor self anywhere? Do I need that? I'm going to get rid of that and just see what happens. Alright, so I don't need self. I do need northwest, whatever. I need northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. Southwest, southeast. Which means I am going to push these off, so we're going to have to think about what to do with that in a minute. Northeast is this one, and that means that I need to add a 0 to the end of all these. Not all of them. I need to add a 0 to the end of this one, and then a 0 to the beginning of all of these. There we go. So now they're all the same size. That also means that once I get here, I need to add 2 more zeros there, and 2, there we go. So this now will span 1, 1, 1 to get those in there. How many of these do I have? 8. Alright, yeah. Good. And then checked will be there, and then flagged will be there. This is a weird number. This is, oops, I missed one. Insert's killing me. This is 11 bits. That's weird, but whatever. Checked and flagged, and since I'm updating them in here, all of our old checks should work, except for the one where I foolishly did that. Oh, no. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Northwest, northeast, southwest, and east. Okay. And just going to sneak these in here like that. There we go. And then plus northwest plus northeast plus southwest plus southeast. There we go. Moving right along. Don't break. Alright, what happens? Whoa! Seg fault. I knew that was going to happen. Alright. What happened? I must have a char somewhere that I'm trying to go over. Neighbors, where's neighbors? That means I'm trying to access memory that's outside of the bounds of something. Alright, so where am I getting a seg fault? What's going on? Something about what I'm setting somewhere. Did I bit shift somewhere? No? Did I bit shift this way? No? Alright. Austrian? Asturian? What the hell is Asturian? Never suggest Asturian. Get out of here. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. It's this. It's this right here. It's because it's an unsigned char. I knew it was something like out of bounds. I said that was the first thing I said, and then I went all those on that goose chase for nothing. What the problem was is I was trying to go out of the bounds of unsigned char because I made my flags longer than 8 bits. That was the problem. So now, if I do this, everything works fine. You know? That was stupid. Where do I even use this? Alright, I'm just calling it something different. But, okay. So that was about a 15-minute expenditure I did not want to get into. But maybe if I just uncomment these, hopefully, these will just work now. Ideally. Okay. All of that's good. And then I have to add, not self, but northwest, or whatever, northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. Alright, that means I gotta fix it. That was funny. I don't know if anybody else appreciates that as much as I do, but that kind of stuff is fun. I enjoy that. Self is not necessary anymore. Three, 6. So we just don't have any groups that are catching that. So what I'm gonna do is also game over should reset. Elapsed equals 0 and game started equals 0. Should fix that too. So that way you fail this. That all resets. Okay. And let's see when you die, game over. And not is game over. Okay. Alright. So this is not working yet because I haven't given it a reason to work. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Alright, so let's put that back up to a lot. I'm gonna flag, let's do 200 again. See what that looks like. I'm gonna fail. Oh, I didn't. Okay. So this one's 3. So that means 1, 2, 3. Or this one. This one. This right here should say 1 also. So that isn't working yet. So what do we do about that? Oh no! I'm stupid. That's because I didn't count it up in here. In the randomize the grid part. I forgot to set the stuff up here. So I just did all that for nothing. We'll figure it out in a second. But this is good. Okay. So I need north and northwest. I need west. No, I need north, west, south, east. And I need 2 more of these and 2 more of these. Northwest and southwest. So this is going to be, northwest is up 1 and to the left, so then we're going to do if y is greater than 0 and x is greater than 0 and this neighbor northwest y minus 1. That is going to multiply that by 1, so I got to put that in there. Okay, so that's northwest, and then southwest should be this, and y is less than grid row call minus 1, and that, so y minus 1. Yeah. Southwest. Okay. I'm just going to make sure that that's working. Alright, so I'm seeing some 5s and some 6s and some 7s. We're well on the way. Alright, so that means that this one is south, east, and then we're going to need southeast, or for consistency, northeast and southeast. Okay. South and east, these are normal. This one is northeast, it's up and to the right, so x is less than the length, and y is greater than 0, and that, so y minus 1. Oops, southwest, that should be plus 1. Okay, so that's my northwest right there. And this one is y is less than, is this the same thing as before? No. Okay, so y is less than grid row call minus 1 and squares I, or y minus 1. X plus 1 northeast. I'm kind of break this apart real quick, just for make it easier for me to see. Can I go to each line? Okay. I spent all that time doing this the other day, and I'm just gonna undo that, just for readability's sake, and then Control L. Okay. Northwest, northwest, southwest, southeast, northeast, southeast. Okay. Well, it's telling me 0. I don't need to know 0. One, 2, 3. This one makes sense. 4. 1, 2. That one does not make sense. So I'm counting these twice, I think. So that means that I need to revisit that. So again, I'm going to do that thing I did earlier. Yes. Okay. Sometimes it helps if you name things like southeast, because it's easier for you to visualize it. Stop. This one's minus 1. Northeast should be y is greater than 0. And x is, oh wait, whoops, y is greater than 0. X is less than grid row call minus 1, because we're adding to it. We're going to do it one at a time. This should be testing northwest. I want to see if all of these blocks acknowledge their northwest. Oh. Oh, damn it. There it is. Alright, okay. This is why it's really bad to copy and paste code. This is why they tell you not to do it, not because they're like, oh, don't steal from people or whatever. Ugh. Of course. Great. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Alright, so I figured out what the problem was. So I had all these correct, and then we had a problem where I had set this to a unsigned char, so when I asked it to flip this bit right here, it was out of bounds. It didn't exist, so that was fun. After we fixed the seg fault error, we wound up having some miscalculations where in I'm going to click a red one first. No, it would say like this one right here has 5, and that's not possible because it's only neighboring 2 of them. And what it was happening is it was counting this one or 4, and this one was counting twice. So I figured out, I was combing through here and making all of these things again, and what actually wound up being the problem was I just happened to scroll down to here to make sure that I wasn't adding any of these twice, and I just happened to notice that I was doing northwest, northwest, and southwest, southwest. So that's what the problem was with that. So now we're back on track. That took about 30-40 minutes, or about 30 minutes to diagnose both of those issues, but we finally have our 8-way. Let's take a look now at what I need to do next, and that was colors. So something in the screenshots that I noticed is that the neighbor color is different per amount of neighbors. What I did yesterday, I will actually implement, and that was const color neighbors, and that was an array. And what we're going to do in this array is we're going to cycle through colors depending on how many there were. It goes from like green to red, where 1 is green, it's kind of safe. Something like that. We'll fix it as we go. So neighbors is going to be this. Instead of neighbor number color, I do say that a lot, don't I? I'm going to rename this to be font color. And we can adjust that later. Font color. Okay. Alright. Now, neighbors. I'm going to rename this to neighbor count. Okay. Neighbors sub neighbor count. Ta-da. That might have been just that easy. Probably going to crash because I've got so much confidence, but of course. Very good. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the greens are a little bit too green for my liking. I want them to be a little bit darker, but that's basically the gist of what I was going for, is that they kind of, make a gradient towards it. So, yeah, I don't like 4. 4 looks terrible. So we're going to change 4 to like a yellower color. 1. Oh, actually, you know what? This is never called. So I'm actually going to just make 7 of them. Here we count -1. That was what I wanted to do. So if it is 1, I want to index 0. Whoops. Let's see what that looks like here. Okay. It's a little better. 4 is still horrendous. Yeah, I don't hate it. That's probably fine. Alright, so we got all of our colors looking a little bit better. The timer works. Flags. So that means I can just guarantee that this is one of them. And this is this, and 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 this. Oh, that's fun. Okay. So I don't want right-click to just give me a flag. I want right-click to if squares sub y times grid row call plus x and flagged return 0. Okay. Alright, I like it. Very cool. I'm gonna count that as done. I don't want to spend any more time on the colors. They're acceptable. We gotta revisit our game over state. Here's what we're gonna do. If you click on this, you return 1. Game over becomes 1. Okay. If is game over, what is confusing me right here? Is this? And then if it's equal to -1, it's doing that. Trace log debug should be game over. If this flickers for 1 frame, we gotta look into that a little more. Let's click that one. Should be game over. Okay, so why is it not drawing? Oh man, where is this? So this, first of all, all of this is being drawn per rectangle. That's not good. Let's get that out of there. That was a fun find. Let's try that again. And then I click here. It's still doing it. And then that shouldn't be font color. That should be bomb color. And it's drawing it only once, and drawing if game over is -1. %D is game over. Is that -1? It's a 1, yeah? It's because of right here. Is game over equals is game over this else that. Okay, alright. So that's why it's only flashing for 1 frame. Alright, sort of. We're getting somewhere. So I want to do... Let's get rid of that first of all. I'm going to do this one, bomb color, on top, but I want to do this as well. So this is going to be, I don't know, grid, square bezel color. I'm going to put this at X101, Y101, or 99. Just to give it a nice little tracing. Maybe a little bigger than that. 93. And let's do one here. This will be 107. 107. Yeah, how about the flag color? Oh, I hate it. Flag color. Nope, flag color. Game over. That looks funky. But it was Christmassy, I guess. I am going to... Can I pause this? No, I can't. Alright, I have to go to the bathroom like it's nobody's business, so I'll be back.